Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to part 2 of our presentation. I believe by now you would have watched part 1, but if you have not for any reason watched part 1, I encourage you to watch part 1 before you move over to part 2 so that you get abreast with what we have been discussing and you can flow with tide. Now we are going to look at stocking the pen. Before you stock your pen, it's necessary you understand the types of snails that are available out there. We have three basic type of snails which we farm. They are called the Achatina marginata, Achatina fulica. These three snails are the snails that are edible, and they are also called land snail. The first one is called the African giant snail. It's the biggest land snail available in West Africa here. If allowed to stay for reasonable time and taken good care of, it can be as big as a human head. Yes, it can be as big as a human head. But often we consume snails before they reach that size. However, snails can be as big as that. That is when we give them some time and we feed them properly. Now let us proceed. Now you see this is the Achatina marginata, called the African giant snail. Over to some characteristics of these snails. This particular Achatina marginata, or AM for short, these snails are found in places where it is humid all year round. You see, humidity is a very big factor in determining where snails are located. They weigh between 150 to 200 grams or more at maturity. Maturity here is from 12 months. Though from 6 to 8 months they are already very big, but for them to attain full maturity we leave them for 12 months. That does not mean you cannot eat them even before then, just that they attain maximum size at this age of 12 months, which is 1 year. Understand? Now they lay about 5 to 10 eggs 4 to 8 times. So between a rainy season, a growing season, which is actually a rainy season, the breeding season is from May to October. This is the rainy season. Between this period of May, June, July, September, October, about 4 to 5 months, they can lay eggs 4 to 8 times. And each of these times they lay eggs as much as 5 to 10. Sometimes they can even lay more than that. Let us say on average they lay 10 eggs and they lay 5 times. So it means that one snail can give you 50 eggs. 50 eggs. And if we go by the maximum, it can give you 80 eggs. So that is how snails can lay. We're talking about Achatina marginata. However, if provided with regular water supply, food, and lime is the major source of calcium for them. They could grow and reproduce throughout the year. I said it before now, if we create an environment for them where they have constant water, that is the most important thing. Once there's water and it is humid, then we give them food and lime, then they can lay throughout the year. So they can lay more than this 4 to 8 times you're estimating. Mind you, this is not the normal lime you get from the lime tree. If you give them that one, it can be dangerous to them. To know the details of what kind of lime we give them, I urge you to contact us and we'll do justice and to help you know what to do. Now, their shell length ranges from blah blah blah, 90 to sorry, this is 90 millimeter, not 90 meter, 90 millimeter to 130 millimeter. They have rounded tails and blackish foot. Now this is the other type, Achatina marginata. It's a little bit different. Let's go back. You see, this is Achatina marginata. This is Achatina. There are other ways we used to identify them. So we hope that when you're ready to start your farm, you can contact us and we'll give you a real, we'll give you one-on-one description of how to differentiate them. Well, basically, both of them can go. You can rear both of them together. Some farmers prefer to separate them so that you have just one special breed. But if you are rearing for business, people who are buying, for example, big time restaurants, they don't even know the difference. What they look at is the size, because both of them look very similar. So for this one, they are also native to West Africa. They have strong brown shells and they grow. Now this one grows into full size 2 years. Mind you, this is the normal growth when you do not boost their growth. If you boost their growth by giving them calcium regularly, then they can go into maturity before 2 years, as in the case of AA, and then 12 months, 1 year, as in the case of AM. In fact, most of my snails I sell them at the age of 6 to 8 months. If you boost the growth with calcium supplements, they can do grow into food, because their shell is basically calcium. So when they eat a lot of calcium, they grow very big, very fast. And they lay more eggs per grain size compared to the other one. The AM lays about 5 to 10 eggs, you know, 4 to 8 times in a year in the growing season. But for this AA, this is highly prolific. They lay from 100 to 400 eggs once to 3 times in each growing season. So imagine you can create an atmosphere for them, a conducive environment for them throughout the year. It means they can lay more than this. And if we take an average of, say, they lay 200 eggs and they lay it 2 times, so it means that one snail will give you 400 eggs in a laying season. But supposing you can create a growing season for them throughout the year, so you can imagine how many eggs you can get. And you don't feed any, you don't spend money. In fact, the only time you spend money to feed them is when you decide to buy the calcium supplement, or you buy, we have a special feed that we have formulated, which is calcium fortified. You give it to them, they grow very fast. But if you don't want to buy all those things, you just want to take your time and do it as a passive business, you're going to feed them, they grow and grow slowly, and they will get to that size. Now they have pointed tails, whitish gray food, blah blah blah. No, it's not too important to us. What is important to us is that they're highly prolific, and they attain maximum size within 2 to 3 years, and you can make money from them. Now this is Achatina fulica. You can see this one is actually smaller. Most farmers don't go to this one because big time market buyers do not prefer this one. These ones are usually sold in the local market, so most farmers don't go for this. However, they can just add it to their farm, particularly people who do free range. I do it, just add a couple of them there, for them to just still proliferate and grow, and do not take too much time attention on this. So usually for personal consumption, quite small. The main thing are the first two. Now when you want to stock your pen, now you have identified the kind of snails that are out there. The first two are the best to stock. Some farmers prefer to stock them separately, but I stock together. Why do they stock them separately? And this is the reason. Snails are hermaphrodites. In other words, one snail is both male and female. So if you buy one snail and you keep it, nothing will happen. It can never lay eggs, except it had mated before you bought it or before you captured it in the wild, right? So when you put two snails, Achatina marginata, they copulate, they mate, and both of them lay eggs. But if you put two species, Achatina marginata and Achatina chatina together, they will never lay eggs because they are not the same species. They will not meet. Some people have picked up snails in their locality and put them together, and they tell you, it does not lay because they do not know the species. So some farmers prefer to put one species together so that the productivity is high. So they are sure that every snail will likely mate. But when you mix them together, maybe you mix them together and achatina madina together, the chances of them fertilizing is low because they may not have um, this room to meet their partners. But when you put them separately, they will proliferate very well. So that is the advantage of separating them. If you want to separate it, good and fine. If you want to put them together, good and fine. They will still proliferate, but it takes some time because two different species will not meet. Now, how do you get snail? First of all, you get snails from the wild. You could get from the wild. Mind you, if you want to start your farm, the first way to get snail is from the wild, from the bush, the forest. You pick up snails, and you will not get snails except in the evening, as from 8. So I'll give you a little trick if you want to get snails from your locality. What you do at about 6 o'clock, come to a particular location, put food items that the snake will eat, things like pawpaw, uh, pineapple. Just cut them into a bit and put them in one particular location and leave. Come again at about 11. You see the snakes have come from all their hiding places to cluster around the food to start eating because they have a very powerful sense of smell. So once the pineapple is there, the pawpaw, they will perceive it and start coming gradually towards that direction. So because snails are slow, we give them time, maybe like 2 to 3 hours before they come up from all their locations to cluster around it. So when you pick up the snails, go back again, come again around 12:1, you see other snails would have come. This is how we collect snails from the wild. Another way we can get snails is to um, buy from people who are already into the business. For example, you want to start a snail farm, you can buy from me because I'm already into the business. In fact, most of the snails I sell are for people who want to start up. I've never had time to rear my snail till reach maturity to sell. That's to tell you how. So I'm talking to you. I've gotten order from two different persons. I have asked them to wait because my stills are still 4 to 5 months. I want them to attain 6 months before I sell, so it does not become too small. Or when they buy it, it takes too much time for them to lay. A new farmer will not have that patience. You just want to see snails lay on time, and snails will start laying from around 6 to 7 months. So I prefer to sell them. So that's one way you make money, by selling from people who want to start or sell from people who want to consume. So you do not never buy snails from the open market. When you go to the open market to put snails, you never buy from them. Very, very wrong. If you do that, no distant time the snail will die. And when you want to stock your snail, you don't buy big snails, you buy young adults, not fully grown snails. When you buy very big snails, they might not lay. And if they lay, they just lay very few eggs, one, two. So it happens because it's like the snails are approaching a menopause, so they do not lay, they're not prolific. So that is why when we buy young adult snails which are about 6 months old, and just a couple of weeks after 6 months they start to lay. So this is the trick about stocking your pen. Now, what do snails feed on? Their eating habits. Now, snails are generally nocturnal animals. They only eat at night or early in the morning. You know, particularly when it's a rainy day. They are very, 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 very calm, slow animals, and you only see them at night when the temperature is quite low. So if you want to feed your snails, this is why snails is very interesting. In the morning you go to your office, you go to wherever you're going to, come back in the evening around 8. That is the time snails will eat. So that is when time you come to feed them. It does not affect any of your full-time business at all. Now snails feed in a lot of variety of food. Generally they feed on leaves and fruits. What kind of leaves do they feed on? They feed on pawpaw leaves, cocoyam leaves, water leaf. So you see the wisdom behind planting water leaf, planting cocoyam and pawpaw. They feed on them. You can also plant dwarf pawpaw. Yes, dwarf pawpaw, highly prolific. I will have the picture here now. I will have showed you. We also sell the seedlings and the seed of this pawpaw. So you can plant it inside your pen and the snails will feed on the leaves. Or you can regularly, occasionally go into your pen, just cut the leaves of these trees and allow them be on the ground and the snails will feed on them. But sometimes they will not climb to feed. So they feed on leaves, and two, they feed on fruits. Mango fruit, banana fruit, plantain, pawpaw, ripe pawpaw, they feed on sweet oranges, they feed on cocoa, watermelon, and cucumber. See, I always tell people all of these things are available in your locality, you don't need to buy them, particularly watermelon. Where I reside here in Benin, there are a lot of Hausa guys who sell watermelon. When people come to buy, they just cut out the fleshy part and discard the back, and this back still contains some level of some amount of flesh. But sometimes when the watermelon goes bad, you can see sometimes I get about 3 to 4 huge watermelons being discarded because it has started getting rotten, and this is the excellent food for snails. So I do not spend money buying food. I just collect this watermelon, collect cucumber, collect cabbages, collect oranges from people who sell fruit. I just go there in the morning, I give them my sack, put the waste there. In the evening I'm going back home, I just collect it and give it to my snails. So I do not spend money for any of them. If I don't have money, if I don't have time to collect the watermelon, maybe in the weekend I'm not going out, then pawpaw is there. If there's no pawpaw, I can always get uh, the leaves of cocoyam, the leaves of watermelon, the leaves of pawpaw, because I have already planted all these things inside the pen. So I just cut the leaves and throw it around and we feed on it. We also feed on ripe oil palm fruits. When you get palm fruits, just throw them inside your pen. Take your time, feed on it gradually. You can also feed them on broken pods of cocoa pods. I have a cocoa in my compound. When we harvest the cocoa, the pod, we give it to them. And that's the pod of cocoa is one very excellent source of calcium for them. You give them the pod to eat, or you burn the pod, you dry it up, and once it's dried, you burn it. The ash you collect from it, just give it to them. They love it and contains a lot of calcium. This is one way we provide calcium for them without spending money. Okay. Other feeds are synthetic foods containing good amount of protein, calcium, and phosphorus. These are the formula we create for them. For example, you can eat poultry mash. Yes, with this normal poultry feed you give to your chickens. Snails can eat it. Yeah, they do eat it. But it does not contain a lot of calcium, but they can eat it. Also, wet droppings from poultry, they eat it. Rotten vegetables. When you buy ugu, spinach, and it's becoming rotten, do not just discard them into the waste bin. Give it to the snails. They will thank you very much. They also eat dead animals. It's all food for them. As I said, I'll never spend money feeding my snails except when I want to. Occasionally, once in 3 months, provide them with supplements. Provide them with supplement once in 2 to 3 months. They also eat things like eba, fufu, amala, semovita, and two. We give it to them, but stay away from basic simple chemicals because it will kill them. Now this is an example of a pen. You can see this pen here. You can see the watermelon I was describing before now. You see, it's a watermelon. And before you come tomorrow morning, all these things, everything here would have been eaten up by all these things. Everything, you won't see anything again. And if you don't put food the second day, when you come back, the whole thing is gone. They're even eating the back. First of all, they eat the fleshy part, and when there are no food, then they consume everything. Now you can see someone is preparing food for snails. You can see watermelon chopped um, into different trays to be fed to the snails. It's another good practice when you want to give your snail food. You put the food on trays. It has an advantage because it makes you to monitor where they eat, particularly when you put the tray at just one particular location every time, so they only come to that place to eat. And when they eat and the food is not finished, you can easily take it and discard it, because when you leave it, at times it attracts microorganisms, particularly this fungi. So to reduce the risk of them being infected, which is very rare anyway, we feed them on trays. But in the free range, you might not be able to do this. In a small setting like intensive or semi, particularly in semi-intensive, it's good to put them in trays because so that they don't mess up the place. But actually, whether they mess it up or not, it doesn't affect it. You don't have to sweep it. In fact, the research was done by a guy who was running a snail in a small snail. It was a research anyway. He had to always sweep this. He had two sets of snails. For one of them, he always swept it every day, remove all form of dirty, their stool and everything. It was very clean, and he gave them food, But after a while, the snail died. While the other one that he never swept the dirt, was doing very well. So what you think is dirt to them is source of food. They will eat sand, yeah. The soil you ask you to put, they also eat it. So part of the things we do when we put our sand in our semi-intensive arrangement, before we introduce the snail, we fortify the soil with calcium. We fortify it with calcium because in the wild, snails are usually found wherever you find snails in the wild. There's a lot of calcium in the soil because at times they eat the sand so that they can eat the calcium. So before you introduce your snail, you fortify the sand with calcium. Fortify it very well. That calcium will last for a very long time. So even though you do not give them a calcium supplement, because you have fortified the soil with a lot of calcium, then the snail will have much of calcium. So that's what I do. I fortify mine with calcium, and I also give them calcium supplement once in 3 months. So all this will make them grow fast. That is besides the watermelon, the pawpaw, the cucumber, the amala, the rotten ugu, the pawpaw leaf and whatever I also give to them. And this is an example of the supplement we have prepared. We give it to them occasionally. As I said, once in 2 to 3 months. If you give them every day, there's nothing wrong, they will grow very fast. But because I fortify my soil, I just give them, because they will get calcium from the soil, they get this one again, so they hardly need too much. And when you do this, they will not cannibalize on the younger ones because they have enough calcium already. They know they are very sensitive to calcium. Whenever there's calcium, they know and they go there. So what are the causes of mortality in snails? Snails have many enemies. These include termites, soldier ants, frogs. All these animals are predators. They eat snails. Common salt is also poisonous to snail. Overcrowding is also an issue. Whenever you have snail, as I told you, there's a particular number of snails you can put in a particular dimension. If you overcrowd them, the slime, this white things that come from out from the snail, if it's too much in the pen, it also inhibits the growth of snails. So we try to control the number of snails you put in a particular location so that the slime is not too much and it does not affect other snails. So overcrowding must be checked. You must work with the approved dimension, and you see your snails will do well. They hardly have diseases. They hardly fall sick. They hardly die. Snails will only die when something has invaded them. Could be soldier ant, particularly soldier ant, red ant, black ant, frog toad rat, lizard, and it's a particular termite. It's a particular termite that also eats snails. It comes into the snail, goes to the shell, and within 2 days it's eating everything. When you pick up the snail, it is blank. And once the termite finishes with one snail, it goes to another snail. When it enters your pen, it's always very dangerous because you can hardly identify it. Takes because your snails are many, you won't know, you just see snails dying. So you have to start in such a situation. What you do is to remove the entire snail from the pen and observe them one after the other until you're able to identify this maggot or this worm, because it stays inside and eats them. Besides this, snails are hardly troublesome like you have in poultry, where you have to medications. Sometimes fish also, for fishery or catfish, you have to give them medications. If not, they will not do well. So it's a continuation of cause of mortality. Examine your pen regularly and mend any openings. Make sure there are no openings. Use materials that keep out pests from the fence. Don't use things. Construct in such a way that the snails cannot run away and other things cannot also come inside. And keep away poisonous chemicals. Maintain the right stocking density of your pen. These are very, very important. Now I made this little economical or statistics here. Now that obviously you have 20 snails, for example, and you bought each of these snails 300 naira. A snail, a young adult breeder, I call it breeder, goes for about 300, 3 to 400, depends on your source. In this assumption, I am buying them with 300 naira, so that will cost me 6,000 naira. And let me say, assume I constructed my pen with 30,000 naira. The total cost of production and starting up would have been 36,000. This 30,000 can be more than that depending on what you want to do. It can be less depending on what you want to do. Or it may not even be there. If you're using tires, for example, you're using tanks or drums, it might not be there. You can always get. I also have a drum. I use it's a broken drum from under, so I just put sand inside, and that was all. I was there to get the lid of the drum and pierce little holes on the drums so they can get air. And I didn't spend any money except for buying the stock. So you can always improvise. The whole idea of this training is that you understand what it requires. You can always improvise. So let us assume our 20 snails, they lay throughout the whole year, they lay 200 eggs each. This is a very conservative assumption from what I've told you. If you are working with they at least many eggs. 200 is small, but let us assume you have a combination of Achatina machinata and Achatina chana, so they lay an average of 200 eggs. And if they lay throughout the season, dry and rainy season, if you could provide an environment for them, they can lay more than this. But let us assume that 200 eggs, good to go. This will give you how much? How many eggs? 4,000 eggs on 20 snails. Now, if you sell each of these 200 naira, that you do not rear your snail till they attain full maturity, you just rear them for like 6 months, and you want to sell to people who want to start. That's what I actually do, because after my training, people always come to order, so I've never had time. So if I sell for this kind of people 200 naira, this is what I'll be making. This is what I'm going to be making. And as I told you earlier on, the market is there. Many hotels, many fast food, they look for snails. They don't have snails. They do not have snails. I once approached a fast food and told them I'm a snail farmer, I want to supply snails. They asked me a question. The question was, can you give me steady supply? I was frank. I told them no. I cannot give steady supply because my snails hardly reach maturity. Most of my students are the ones who patronize me. and I sell 300 naira actually. So 300. But if I decide to sell 200, I'm not running at a loss at all because I never spent money feeding them. The money I spent feeding them is just too much. That's going to cost me between 5,000, and that can take me for years. You know, it's very simple to go. So you can have a small pen in your backyard. You start with just one wooden pen, boxes, the hutches, and you stock them with 20 snails. This is the right density to start, 20 to 25, depending on the size of what you are going for, and do them well. They leave 40 snails. In fact, the small pen you started with will no longer be enough, so you have to put them in a new. So what I do once they begin to lay, I remove the eggs and put them in a new box. So that box becomes like the hatchery for them. I put them there and cover them with sand. And when they hatch, they are there, so they are separated from their mother. So whenever the mothers lay again, they're going to transfer like that. They're going to transfer. They're going to transfer. So 4,000 snails can be inside one pen because they are small. So there are no problem. So as they begin to grow in size, I begin to separate them again. So usually with 3 pens, just starting with one, as the need arises, you begin to add more, then you begin to sell. So the market is available. The only time you will not sell snail is if nobody knows you are doing snail farm. So by the time you start to do snail farm, you tell people. You do not tell people. You can walk up to any fast food restaurants, bar, they would patronize you because it's very edible and very expensive, and yet it's very rare. So this brings us to the end of the part 2 of our presentation. Thank you for listening and for finding time to listen all our presentation. For more information, you can order for our manual on snail farming. We have put together a very powerful manual on snail farming. Ordinarily we sell these things the manual for 5,000 naira, but for people who have taken time to get my material online, we are going to give them in conjunction with the Z Farmers Cooperative. We are giving them for 3,000 naira. We are giving them 3,000 naira instead of 5,000 naira. To order, you just pay your 3,000 naira into his bank account, the first bank account. Then you send your information to this number. Information you are going to send is your name, the amount you pay, the date of payment, the seller number, and your email. Now with your email, you're going to send you the ebook, and we're going to give you some bonuses. You're going to pay for one, but we have more than one books, so we are going to give you 3 books. Each of these books costs 5,000 naira, but we are giving 3 for 3,000. So we are selling each of them 1,000 naira for you. Avail your service opportunity while it lasts, because it's not going to last forever. Send us, just pin to this account, notify us by email, or you give us a call here and give us these details, then we send you your books. And beyond that, we'll add you to our exclusive list, a chatting group we have created. Chatting groups on Telegram, not WhatsApp. Telegram, Telegram. You go to your Google Play, download it, install it, just like WhatsApp, but it has many features that WhatsApp does not have. We'll put you to that group, and there we'll provide you mentorship as you begin to start your own. You send us pictures on the group, on the chat, you call on us, then we'll tell you what to do and what not to do. If you have any question, you can ask us there. So that group will be exclusive for people who have ordered. If you have not ordered our book and you ask us questions, then you might need to pay for consultation, and we provide you answers. So I urge you to make hay while the sun shines. Place your order now and get this manual. This manual is not just written because we want to write. We wrote it after many years of research and experience. Even from the manual you get, from the manual you learn how to prepare your own supplement, and you know how to source for your supplement. Very simple. Supplement of two types: is one you pay for, there's one you do not pay for. You can get, I just told you one during the presentation about using cocoa pod. The cocoa pod is not really available, so not everybody can access it, but there are other ones you can get. So pay, place your order now and start your snail farm. You can also visit us at our website jagbefarms.com. You can send us an email. Send us an email to this this mail, and we will reply your mail. You can also call us on that same number, or you can also join our Facebook group. This is the address for our Facebook group. You can join us there, and we'll be very glad you did. Thank you for listening. Hope to meet you in our group chat. Bye bye.